What's going on, grinders? That's right. We are still rocking our Lions gear after that wonderful win on Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you are not here to talk about the Lions and sports. Let's get to the market. So we did hit a new all-time high for the Dow. Today it hit 47,125, although it could not close over that 47,000, still a new intraday high. Nasdaq actually closed lower today, but not by much, and looks like the S&P 500 is going to close around flat for the day as well. So one of the companies that we have in our portfolio, and if you are new to the show, we call that the All-In Collective. We have a basket of stocks, 7 stocks, so it's part of the All-In Collective. And it's just simply the companies we have the most money allocated towards in our long-term portfolio, as well as some of these companies we have options calls in as well. But for this company specifically, it's just in our long-term portfolio, and that is Netflix. Netflix is due to report here in about 40 minutes at 4:45 Eastern. And I've been telling you guys, if you've been watching videos or if you are in the Patreon, and right now you can join the Patreon for free. It doesn't cost you anything. You get videos like this, plus other market information. And if you want to learn our strategies and really get busy in the market like we do, you can join the Patreon. It's only $10 per month. I guarantee you're going to get $10 worth of value every month out of our all-in society investing community. So make sure you join that community. Make sure you subscribe to these videos. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and hit those notifications so you don't miss any important videos. But like I said, it's going to report their earnings at 4:45 Eastern. Netflix is a little bit different. They have 2 CEOs, co-CEOs. So you're typically used to seeing 1 CEO. This report is going to be actually 2 CEOs. So expectation is for Netflix to post earnings per share of $6.97 on revenue of $11.51 billion. And so some of the key topics that we're going to listen to and what investors and analysts are looking for is the viewer engagement, ad tier growth, and generative AI. They're focused on generative AI if it's possibly taking share, or it can be something that Netflix can work towards in the future and take advantage of that generative AI and have that available in Netflix rather than, the Chatgpt Soras and these other tools that are catching a lot of attention lately. And then next, and I just freshly watched this video, but OpenAI, I'm sure you guys know OpenAI. If you're not familiar with OpenAI, definitely do some research. By research, you can go to Chatgpt and start asking questions, exactly what OpenAI does. Start getting acclimated, start getting used to using these chat bots, okay? Because they are going to be the future. Whether you use Gemini, whether you use Chatgpt, Anthropic, Claude, Gronk, if you're somebody who's an Elon fan and like using X and things of that nature. I personally use Gemini. I love it. I have it on my action button on my iPhone, and it goes right there. But OpenAI is launching a browser. And so, of course, when we think about web browser, most of us think about Google. But ChatGPT or OpenAI wants us to think about OpenAI as a credible web browser. It is called ChatGPT Atlas. There's actually a video on YouTube. I have the link in this description, so you can check it out for yourself. You can go to openai.com. The demo is only about 20 minutes long. One thing I want to say about Sam Altman and the OpenAI crew. Sam Altman is the CEO, by the way, of OpenAI. Their live demos are always, at least the ones that I've watched, are always very crisp and well done. Whereas I've watched Mark Zuckerberg and the unveiling of the new Meta AI glasses, that was a mess. And I believe Apple, when they tried showing a couple things, that was a little bit of a mess, or it was pre-staged. And then Google, once they started doing live demos, some of their most recent products in the last 6 months didn't go well as well. But OpenAI, at least in the demos, live demos that I've seen, have performed very well. But like I said, they're open an AI-powered web browser, much like Safari or Google. A little bit, and now OpenAI, or excuse me, Google has launched something similar to this in September. So this is OpenAI's version of a web browser, and they also are working with someone that used to work for Apple and working on a new, I guess, hardware device. Is the rumors that is supposed to be something that kind of rivals a cell phone or maybe another device that we use with AI capabilities opposed to our traditional cell phone that we use. So stay looking out for that as well. But we watched the demo and YouTube, like I said, is very impressed. And there is a version of it that is agent mode. And actually, this is what it looks like. It has all your tabs and everything, right? And they showed a demo, and it looks very similar, right, to what we're normally accustomed to. If I wanted to go to NBA.com, you can see that, and then you can pull up, ask ChatGPT, when does the NBA season begin? And I'm waiting for a response. NBA season is scheduled to begin on October 21st, 2025, which is correct as today. So just kind of show you the basics. Now, I don't have the version of it where it is the agent, and they basically, it can do a task for you. So if you were a Southwest customer and you wanted to look for, book an upcoming trip, if you had your Southwest tab open and you're logged in, mind you, if you anything open in these tabs, now I'm gonna have to close out all of these tabs. Anything that is open and you're logged in to, the agent will be able to access it. So unless you want the agent to access whatever you're specifically getting into, you're probably not going to want to have that tab open. And you can, I didn't really find the little link that they showed us in the video, but you can, I guess, turn this off so it won't log into any of your tabs, and you can kind of breeze in privacy and safely. And then you turn it on, whatever tabs you have open here, up top here, like in your normal browser. If you're logged in, it'll be able to access it. The agent will be able to access it if you're using that, and it can actually do the task for you. So I thought that was extremely cool. And during the demo, there was a guy that wanted to, there we go. There's a guy that wanted to go shopping because he found this new recipe. So he searched the web for a recipe, and then instead of going through that website, he opened up the chat bot and said, hey, give me the ingredients that I need to make this recipe. And then it listed in the chat bot over here all the ingredients labeled just the way that he likes, because he's been interacting with it. The more that you interact, the more it remember and adapt to your personal needs. And then he said, okay, ChatGPT, all I need is the meat and produce. Order these for me online. It did it, and probably within like 2 to 5 minutes, they moved off the tab. But you can sit there and watch. Let me explain this better. After he put in the task to the agent, and mind you, this is only available for the pro and the paid versions of ChatGPT. It's not available for anybody. Once he put in the task, ChatGPT, it went through the tabs that are already open and available. They were already logged in. It went to Instacart for him, it went through. You could see the cursor and it clicked on everything. And at the end, it didn't go through the buy-in process. It kind of stopped there. So you can watch if you wanted to, or you could leave the room or go to another tab and work on something else until that was done. And then at the end, it had the complete order. Then you can take over from there, review everything, make sure everything's right, complete the process, and then you're good to go. You either have it delivered to you if you wanted to, or if you can go pick it up, and it was seamless. And so it's just making, we have these agents working for us, all these tedious tasks. There was another employee, and he was a project manager for a haunted house, and he really had no experience being a project manager, and he used ChatGPT to kind of organize everything for him, send messages to the group that he needed to send messages to, and relay to everything it was doing. So I thought it was awesome. Like I said, I typically use for my research, I use like I use Google. But maybe with this browser, if I play with it a little bit more and I like it, I'm comfortable with it, I might continue using this Atlas browser opposed to your typical Safari. I don't even use Chrome. I just use Safari. But I want to use something a little bit different, something a little bit better. And probably more than likely, Apple will roll out something here soon, and I'll revert back to Safari and Apple. But I'm going to give it a try. Let me know if you guys give it a try. I'm interested to know if you like it, if you don't like it. If you're a paid version of ChatGPT and use the agent mode, let us know how it worked for you. Were there any errors? Were there any issues? Did it take longer than you were expected? As far as your safety and privacy, were you cool with that? So I know it was a lot of information on that browser, but I thought it was really cool, and I just wanted to share it while it was in the top of my mind. All right, let's look at we already looked at the scoreboards, which was the major indexes. So let's kind of look at some of the companies in our all-in collective. Meta finished positive today. NVIDIA closed at 181.16. If NVIDIA falls to $180, we're going to get busy with another options contract probably. I would like to find one a year out. I do have one I can add on, but right now, I'm pretty bullish on Amazon, and I got a lot of cash in Amazon right now and some of those shorter contracts. So if Amazon does well, maybe we'll sell some of those shorter contracts and be able to feed and buy some longer contracts at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is definitely one of my favorite plays for 2026 as well. Apple was up today. Vertiv down 0.5%. Amazon has been cooking. We said Amazon has had some momentum. Past 5 days is up just over 2.5%. Still down 4% over the past month, but looks like we're heading back to that 225. That's when we were buying contracts when it hit 225 or below. It fell to like 214, maybe even 212, I think, a couple of days ago. So it's good to see this momentum and pushing higher. And it looks like Netflix is actually down. They've shared their numbers. I'm watching CNBC right now as we speak. I'm not sure exactly what about the numbers were not satisfactory to investors, but you always want to listen to the call. Just because you get this first reaction and shares are down does not mean that it was a bad quarter. So you want to get a little bit more information. You want to hear from the CEOs and hear about the future. But for right now, Amazon shares are down almost 5%, but not to that 1150 area where we said we would like to buy. So again, don't get too caught up in that initial reaction. A company like Uber, they reported a great quarter last quarter. The shares went down. I said, oh no, this makes no sense. I loaded up on options, and then a couple of days afterward, the shares took off, and I made a killing in a short amount of time with Uber options. So just be mindful of that. Don't pay so much attention what the initial reaction is. Looks like revenues basically came in as expected. I'm not sure where earnings fell, but with down 5%, I'm pretty sure that probably earnings were probably either met or a little bit below. The revenue guidance was pretty much looks like intact as well. So just we'll watch the earnings report and we'll report back and we'll talk a little bit more about it. I'll see you guys a little later.